top of it, we back at it again. Uh, we're gonna kick it around today about loyalty and dedication. You know, uh, partner of mine uh, called me yesterday, tell me about a story. That happened in his life. We kick it around daily. So he got out the game with a half a million, invest his money the right way, uh, kept the same two bras with him. So they've been down with him 10 years. Bro's in position where he making money while he sleep. You know, uh, he's a he set his goals, and he reached for his goals, and he made his goals, you know. So the purpose of this uh, show is really about what he called me about. So, like I say, he got investments, uh, kept the same two ladies he had for years. I think they've been down together now about 15 years. They having it their way. So his girl and her friends go on a vacation, and then he find out that the broad found some kind of boy toy down there on the vacation, and she had her fun. Okay, now they done built the empire together. So he find this out. She come back, you know. She don't act like nothing's wrong, But of course, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna do? Tell on herself? You know, uh, females they don't do that. So anyway, so I say, okay, man. I say, shit, man. What'd you do, man? He said, Tay, shit. I told her she had to leave, man. He said I got to put her clothes together, man. He said I gave her a bankroll, man. Told her that she had to dismiss herself from my premises, man. You know. And he said that's the first mistake that she did, the first major mistake that she done made in 15 years. And I say, damn, man. I say, man, God dang, man, that's a crucial doggone blow to you, man. He said, no, man. He said it was a blow to her, man. He said because the simple fact is that all these years, she portrayed and she faked like she was dedicated and loyal to me. And if she was, he said, and I told her at the beginning that dedication and loyalty, that's more important than anything in the world. That's the foundation of your relationship. And she broke that. It don't matter what position she was in. It don't matter if shit, man. He said, man, we done built a motherfucking empire, man. He said, but she broke that trust and she broke that loyalty. She broke that dedication. So I thought about it. It made sense to me. So purpose of this show is, who you loyal to, who you dedicated to. Most of you guys, you know, that's watching this show, you ain't never been loyal or dedicated to nothing in your life. You don't even know how to spell loyalty, and that's the killing thing about it. You know, loyalty to me, yes, I ain't looked in no dictionary, fuck a dictionary. Loyalty to me is being dedicated to yourself first, and then you dedicate it to your folks, and you dedicate it to whatever it is that you good at. Because being dedicated and loyal to whatever you good at, that's how you gonna win. So I say, when things ain't going right and you on your grind, you got your goal set, you going from A, when you get to Z, shit, you're gonna be on top of the world. But it's the stuff that in between, that slows down your progress. And that loyalty and dedication is one of the main things. First of all, if you don't know who You are, if you have been dedicated, first of all, to yourself, it's going to be a hard time winning. Because if you're not dedicated yourself, you probably don't even have your goal set yet. So let me see. Dedicate to me, dedication and loyalty. Uh, with me, I think about it. It started way back with me, back in high school. Everybody that's watching this video probably was good in football or baseball or basketball. I'm talking about when you was in high school. You thought you was good enough to go to the pros. Maybe some of you was. But the reason that you didn't make it to college, think back now. Just think for them seconds right now. The reason you didn't make it, because you wasn't dedicated to whatever sport it was. You wasn't dedicated. You know, you wanted to party, you wanted to get high, you wanted to do whatever you wanted to do. But when you think back on it, the ones that was dedicated to that sport and dedicated to, they had realized their talent, what their gift was, and they was dedicated to it, they went on probably to become pros, or at least they made it to college and got their degree. It started way back then. It's not too late to start being dedicated and loyal. They really go hand in hand. But you got to talk to that man in the mirror, and decide to, dedicate and be loyal to yourself. You know, maybe you need to start being loyal to yourself about the way you dress. Maybe you need to get out in sweats and tennis shoes and them jogging suits every day. You find yourself even popping into the club with that same shit on. Just because it's got a designer name on it. Maybe you need to dedicate yourself to being loyal to, if you work in a 9 to 5, maybe you need to dedicate yourself to, oh, that's right. Now that is the one thing that you are dedicated to if you got that 9 to 5. Now you are dedicated to that motherfucking job. Yes, that you are. How about you take that energy and that dedication that you putting on that doggone job and put it into yourself, put it into your life, put it into the lady that you messing with. Maybe you ain't getting no closer to your goal because your dedication and your loyalty to your woman. Because I know and I believe that you working, baby working, I'm talking about the 9 to 5s. Baby working and you working, y'all working on a goal. Y'all got to have a goal y'all working for. I'm saying other than paying the house note, or the apartment note, or wherever it is you live. You dedicate yourself to paying that doggone bill every month because if you don't pay it, your ass going to get put out. So what I'm saying is that I'm talking about, I guess I'm really talking about the energy of dedication and loyalty, the energy that you put into yourself. Like I say, you come through high school, you're full of vigor, you're full of energy, you so into yourself, you ain't being dedicated and loyal to nothing. Like I say, you're just running through life, like a chicken with his head cut off, that's what you're doing. If you didn't dedicate it to them books, maybe you might have got to college or go to college. Okay, now you're in college, you can't miss but 3 or 4 times, and then they're gonna put you out. So most of y'all wouldn't make it there because that's dedication and loyalty. I know you get the picture on what I'm saying, about dedication and loyalty. Man, to me, it's like the foundation of your life. Be loyal to yourself. Things ain't going right. When I say talk to that man in the mirror, things ain't going right. Your job to you, your dedication and your loyalty to yourself is talk to that man in the mirror. Figure out what you're gonna do, where your life going to. Where's your life going? Where you heading? Okay. But first of all, Man, I swear, and I say it in every video, every time I talk to y'all, man, everybody, every man, every woman on this earth is given a gift of something that you do better than anybody else. I don't know what the gift is, you know. Your woman, your mama don't know what the gift is. Only you know, because it's within you. Man, if you discover that doggone gift, man, say, man, the world will be like a puppet on the string to you. Everything, you know. But I'm saying that comes from taking the time out to dedicate to you, you know. I mean, find out who you are. Be man, you know, you got to be loyal and dedicated to something. And like I say, most of you that's watching the video, man, just think about it, man. You ain't never been dedicated and loyal to nothing in your life, man. You know, every time it's time to stand up for something, instead of stepping forward, you was taking 2 steps back. That's how you've been living your life. It ain't never too late. Stop standing on the doggone sidelines, throwing bottles at motherfuckers, you understand me, and get up off your ass and do what you need to do for you. Then you probably wouldn't be hating so much on the next man or have something to say about a man that's giving it his all and trying to win, you know. But some of you motherfuckers, you just sit back, man, and just talk shit about the next man. Man, what the hell? What's some hell of a wasted energy in space for your ass to be on this earth? And instead of working and grinding and thinking about you, all you doing is spending your time kicking it about about the next man or next woman or next family. Come on now, let's put some dedication and loyalty into your life. Your life might be better with your woman. If she noticed that you dedicated to something, at least be dedicated to her. I get different, different texts from different brothers. A lot of them be having different problems in the relationship. I'm not saying I'm a relationship expert, but one thing I can say, I know how to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? You know. So uh, what I'm saying is that, meaning this right here, if you dedicated to winning with the lady that you then chose, well then dedicate yourself to winning with her. Be loyal, man. You understand what I'm saying? Both of y'all heads got to be going down the same road together. You running things. You the master in the house. Baby gonna follow your lead. She see you dragging around this motherfucking head all down, and you know, you done worked all week, and baby done worked all week, and she expecting you to, shit, you done got that paycheck Friday, she expecting you to pop through the door, with some vigor and some pep in your step. You understand me? With a plan of, how y'all gonna enjoy this weekend after y'all done worked and grinded and struggled all doggone week. And here your ass, come in the house, mope in the motherfucking house, man. Get a beer, a light a joint, and sit down on the couch and turn the TV on. And baby is sitting back, you know, she been excited. She done worked all week too. She want a little relief. She want to put something on sharp. She wants you to put something on sharp. She wants you to go out and, shit, man, go out and show off how y'all been progressing. Dedication, man. Dedicating yourself to who you with, that's dedication and loyalty. So by being dedicated and loyalty to whoever you with, you're gonna try your best to make it be right. You're gonna try your best to keep winning and progressing. And what I'm saying is, maybe that's the problem, with with a lot of you guys that's watching this video right now. Dedicate yourself to something, man. Stand for something, man. You know, your woman, she always watching you. You on stage every day. And like I said earlier, she gonna follow your lead. You set the program. Ain't you ever kind of, don't you ever kind of just wonder, how your woman really look at you? Don't you talk to that man in the mirror and be like, man, we've been together X amount of years. Man, I wonder what this broad really think about me, man. You know, is she here for me and the things that, that we doing together, life we building together? Or is she here just cause the dick is good? And the first opportunity she get, to hop the fence, she gonna hop the fence. Now with me, it's a little different. You know, I just know because with me, I just know that I just gotta, the same thing you use to catch her, you just keep them same methods up, but just enhance them, just make them a little bit more exciting. Your life should be exciting, man. You know, your bra should be very excited to see you, walking through the doggone door. Oh shit, here baby home. You know, probably, I'm talking to you 9 to 5ers. I ain't talking about the pimping man. A lot of you 9 to 5ers, you probably, you probably walk through the door and you don't know where baby at, or baby in the bedroom, or baby upstairs. You walk through the door, and she said, "Hey, babe." You're like, "Hey, babe." No, no, you made it like that. Say, man, I don't care how long you've been with her. I don't care how long y'all been together, man. Say, man, after you finish that 9 to 5, man, and baby's home, man, you supposed to walk through the door, man. That motherfucking borrowed man supposed to look like the most glamorous motherfucking bitch in the world, man. That's how it should be set up. Your job is to please her, her job is to please you, and her job is show to look good for you every day. You're supposed to walk through that door, man. You're supposed to get a hug, man. You know, you know what I'm saying? Get a hug and, come on, baby, let me take you upstairs and suck your dick. I'm talking about real motherfucking relationships, man. A lot of y'all, y'all don't get that, man. Because you didn't got away from that. You forgot what you used to catch her. You forgot to be, you forgot about being dedicated and loyal to the relationship that you in. It all work hand in hand. Dedicated to yourself, dedicated to whatever you down for making your paper, dedicated to the broad that you fucking with, dedicated to winning, dedicated to building an empire with the female that you chose. Y'all dedicating yourself to each other to win. And when one side see the other side drifting away, she see you drifting away, and you ain't woken her drifting away, she gonna drift on away. Because you ain't put that dedication in to knowing who this lady is. I told you guys, in a few other videos, watch for them changes. If baby greets you at the door when you come in, every day from work with a hug and a kiss, and then you come in one day, you know, and it's just hey, how you doing? Don't just walk away. Hold up, baby. Hold up. Wait a minute. Sit it down, Find out what the problem is. Instead of just being, oh, she tripping. And then the next 2 days, you come in, it's the same thing. This tripping. Being dedicated to who you messing with, or who closing your eyes with, which is some real important shit, man. You know, and for those of you that you, that ain't ever close your eyes with a doggone maniac motherfucker in disguise, those of you have, you know what I'm talking about. You got to be dedicated and loyal to something. You know, check this out. After high school, after we call ourselves being men, you run through this female, you run through that female, you're young, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you call what the old folks talk about, sowing your oats, you know. Uh, I'm talking about the old folks. Oh shit, I'm one of them now. But anyway, but anyway, so what I'm saying is that you steady looking for after you get past that first high school little puppy love, then you're looking for excuse me, you're looking for that certain kind of female. You know what I'm saying? You know, but the thing that you do wrong is you prepare yourself for that female. You make sure you got your dressing in order. You make sure you got your vines in order. For some of y'all squares that don't know what I'm talking about, you got your clothes in order. For those of you got your vines in order. You get your ride in order. You know, you prepared, but you ain't prepared mentally. So you got your twos. You ready, and you see her. And I'll be damned. Half you motherfuckers on the screen, you walk up to her, you don't know what the hell to say. Besides, hi, hey, okay, motherfucker, we'll come after hey. Prepare yourself. If you're trying to catch a broad, man, dedicate yourself, man, to having a bitch, man. Get your spiel in order, Once again, I'm talking about, man, dedication. Be dedicated to yourself, man. Get yourself in order. Because half of y'all, that's that's uh, dedicated yourself to finding that finding that bad broad, you ain't even ready. You go to the park, you've been without you ain't had you ain't had that bitch. Talking about the one you looking for. You ain't you ain't found her. Just a certain scenario. You sitting in the park, you thinking about, yeah, man, yeah, when I see this motherfucking bitch, yeah, I'm knocking this bitch, man. I'm prepared, I'm ready. And then the bitch sit down next to you. You don't know what the hell to say. You know why? Back to what I said. Because you ain't dedicated yourself to winning. You want to come up, but you ain't dedicated yourself to you. Preparation, preparing yourself for what you want. So, who are you loyal to? You know what I'm saying? Who you loyal to? You ain't loyal to yourself, which is the foundation to having anything. So maybe, how you sitting back and you're like, damn, man, things ain't going right. You done went over this problem 1,000 times in your mind, but you still can't figure out the answer. So you don't know what to do. You know what you do? Think it out. You got to use your mind. Hey, man, for every situation, there's a way out. A lot of situations, most situations, the way out is some paper. Of course, we all know that. We all know that, in our mind, it's like, you know, damn, man, if I can get that, if, I got the plan, I'm ready to execute the plan. Man, if I could get that, just get that jump start, man, you know, man, if a nigga would just give me a quick loan, man, so I can just, I just need a jump start, man. Once I get that jump start, man, it's on and cracking. But getting that jump start, it's like a fart in the wind, man. Niggas don't do that no more. You know, they used to. That's the old school way. Call up a partner, say, man, man, I need like 10, 15 racks, man, to get this business started. I have it back to you, man, before a year is up, man. You know, they know your reputation, they know who you are. You could get that, but like I say, I don't know if it's the time. I'm not gonna say it's the times nowadays. I'm gonna say it's the people. Ain't too much realness around. No more. But We're gonna forget about that because we already know but that's what's happening. You got to think yourself out of everything, any doggone situation that arises. If you want to win, you know, concentrate on you. Stop tripping off the things that you can't do. Figure out a way to do them. Dedicate yourself, man, and be loyal to yourself, man. You know, uh, uh, see, we got a few people on today, man. Let me make some BK Baby Troop, top of it, man. Uh, Jay Sosa. Who else we got? Um, Game Guy for Video Games. Browse Guy. We got Knowledge. Uh, Amen Hamdi. Bo Majesty. Who else we got? We got Sweet Sweet. Clockwork Orange. Billy Del Rey. Hey man, some of y'all kill me with these monikers, man. I'm gonna have to do a show on these on names, man, because I don't know where y'all get these motherfucking names from, man. Hot damn, man. We got kings, we got majesties. Holy shit, man. you know, I'm gonna have to do a show on does your moniker do you hold up to what you named yourself. How about something like that? I'm gonna think of that, man. That should be a good video, man. I appreciate y'all, tuning in. King Sweets, top of it to you, man. Devin Malik, hey man, it's been a while. West Adams, Carolina Slam Incorporated. We got James Woods. We got Browser Guy, Dylan Alexander, Rashad Alam. We got Exposing the Truth, Baby Brown. Uh, hey man, I just want you guys to know, man. Hey man, I really appreciate y'all tuning in. Because I start doing the show. I say I'm gonna start doing the show again. Because I really stopped doing the show, man. Because seemed like I wouldn't get no doggone appreciation, man. You know, you know, I don't mind, popping game and kicking and having some entertainment, But shit, I like it. Everybody like a little appreciation once in a while, So I'm gonna be doing a couple more shows. Um, got a new game piece out. It's entitled uh, "Not Kicking You." It's entitled what is? I got to excuse me. Hey man, I had a little mind blank for a minute. because new game is out called Checking You. I also have a book one from the bottom to the penthouse, and I have book two, 100% game for you. So I got those three items available. You guys interested? You know, hit me up on Facebook, or hit me up on Instagram. You know, been a while, but all you guys know, about Facebook or Instagram. So just hit me up. Hey man, been a great show, and see y'all in a couple of days. Glasses up. Hold on a second. Get Tayshawn. It says stop screaming, but you would not be able to reconnect.